This video documents a comparison of results from a flake thrown into a fresh epoxy body coat and a body coat given more than an hour before the flake is broadcast. Before the coating demo, the area is de-dusted by shot blaster to remove all grinding dust. Closer inspection of the surface reveals the extent of its porosity. Though unique to have a slab with this many voids, it is possible for old slabs to be this bad. The amount of surface porosity here dictates a pre-treatment primer coat. The floor will be skimmed with a multi-purpose 100% solids epoxy. The idea is the large holes in the floor will be better filled and soaked with a lower viscosity resin than a thicker universal epoxy. This particular epoxy formula is a 2-to-1 ratio mix. The epoxy is applied and spread by trowel. The aim is to completely fill the surface pits, but leave as little behind as possible. The holes are large enough to reflect through the flake and also swallow some of the pigmented body coat. This skim coat makes the slab surface absorbency uniform. After curing, but within the recoat window, a 10 mil body coat will be placed. This is a 100% solids universal epoxy. It's a 2-to-1 clear formula, and it is pigmented gray for later identification. The resin is spread by an 8 to 12 mil squeegee. The area being coated is 156 square feet and 10 mils is 160 square feet per gallon. So 1 gallon should cover the area at an approximate 10 mils depth. Once spread, the roller is pre-wetted with epoxy. Then the area is back rolled by the 1/4 inch nap roller. The test being done here will be of flaking into fresh epoxy immediately following its placement. Then some time will be allowed for the epoxy to thicken and become tacky. For this reason, only 50% is being flaked. This side would simulate an actual floor that is flaked as soon as the epoxy has been spread. After 10 minutes, 30 minutes since mixing, the epoxy is still too wet. After another 10 minutes, 40 minutes since mixing, the epoxy is still too wet. Another 10, 50 minutes since mixing, it's still too wet. Another 10, 1 hour since mixing, some fingertip marks are left. And another 10 minutes, 70 minutes since mixing, the epoxy is tacking up to resemble a taffy. And after another 10 minutes, 80 minutes since mixing, the flake is finally applied. After 3 hours' time, a small area is blown clean of all the loose flake. A closer look reveals the side left to thicken has gray resin where the flake was blown away. The gray is easy to identify because of the difference in the pigment when compared to the color of the flake. On the side broadcast while fresh, there are dark spots that indicate the base slab is showing through. This would indicate the body coat was absorbed into the flake because of its low viscosity at the time of broadcast. And that's about it. A comparison between decorative flaking into 10 mils of freshly placed and tacky epoxy.